Wow, a mad scientist working on a planet called Delta Berxalon. You wonder what he's doing here? Designing women, perhaps? Sorry?
Hello, Doctor.
Janitor Wilco? What in blazes are you doing here?
Well, Doc, I got a distress call.
So why are you here?
Because I know it originated here. In fact, it was from Stellar Santiago.
You're out of your mind, Wilco. Now go away and leave me alone. I've got important work to do. Goodbye.
I know something's up here, Doc, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. You'll be sorry, pal.
Yes, whatever you say, Wilco. Just get out of my face.
You have no use for that, you silly little janitor. You have no use. You take pos. You have no. It's the Callahan Mahdi you scavenged from Delta Berxalon.
Sir, I believe I may be able to tap myself into the PTS and perform a limited set of functions.
PTS?
Yes, sir. PTS, the Photo Triangulation System. It was installed as a crude backup navigational device to the modern navigational computer system. It's what you see before you mount it in the middle view screen.
Don't touch that. We don't know where you've been. You peel apart the photo and negative from your first PTS image. What, was that supposed to be clever? You peel apart the photo and negative from the second PTS image. What, was that Nothing happens. See, most games... Careful, combining those...
The PTS is online and working. We can now launch to polysorbate. What may I do for you, sir? Step over to the transport pad and I will beam you down to the surface of polysorbate.
Manual tosses you a transport signaler.
You can only use this from the place I beam you to.
You'd think, if indeed you did, that a guy with the Cyclops seems the Endrodroid's last visit has caused a permanent change of hours for this establishment. Like none. Yikes! Can it be? Why, yes it is. It's Fester Blatz, former owner and proprietor of Fester's World o' Wonders, a cheesy little tourist trap on the desert planetoid of Fleabot. The t-shirt looks, and unfortunately smells, like the same one he wore on Fleabot. He has the expression of someone enjoying a permanent wedgie. He has aged somewhat. Looks like he's grown a few more neck rings. These last few years have been rough on him. From what you remember of him, he used to be kind of an aqua blue. Now he looks like a used lug liner, or the color of a Vorillion miner's loogie.
Brain-dead products have been a staple of the home-built being hobbyist for decades now. They make a fine line of adapter plugs which allow for cross-species component swapping. Means you'll be able to pick up parts anywhere other beings exist. Nice deal, huh? They also make a pretty fine moddy. Get tired of what kind of mood your droid, or spouse for that matter, is in? Why, you just slap in one of those babies and bingo! You can modify them into a whole new attitude. Find a wife type who won't pay some big buckazoids for that. Too bad the sale of them is illegal. About all I do is trade for them. It's one of them loopholes, guess you could say. Kinda developed a hobby of collecting the suckers. Howdy, stranger. The name's Blatz. Fester Blatz. Welcome to Implants and Stuff. Go ahead. Have a look around at some of the most interesting replacement body components this lovely planetoid has to offer.
Oh, a nice fresh sales pitch. Hello there, Mr. Blatz. I think I have something you might be interested in.
Think so, hey?
Oh, I really think you'll find it interesting.
Ooh! Why, I'd love to take that off your hands. Of course, you realize that it's illegal to sell those, but I could trade you for something. Look around and see what interests you.
I could really use a cyberspace jack.
Tell you what, I'll trade you for one of those fine specimens in the case. What do you say?
No, I want the jack or it's no deal.
Oh, now take it easy, Sonny. I think we can do business.
I'm glad you see it my way. It's been a pleasure. Take care, Fester. I gotta fly. That's the cyberspace jack.
Let's look at it together and see what we can see, okay?
Then, the Galactican said, if I did have hover capabilities, I wouldn't need the cleft snorter. Ah, excuse me, sir. How may I enhance your efforts?
Hey, free birdseed, and so conveniently placed under a huge boulder, too. Forget it. You don't resemble that bird. Well, except for the pin feathers in those chicken legs of yours. Don't pick at it. You'll... Bet you can't fit that thing in your pants. Guess I was wrong. It does fit. There must be plenty of spare room in there.
Next. Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
No, I don't seem to have that one, but...
Oh, I am sorry, sir. Strangely enough, there's no provision for buts in this system. You either have the number shown or you do not. Now, please await the calling of your number. Thank you very much. I have important things to do.
It's the number 3 card you took from the card dispenser.
Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
As a matter of fact, I do possess that number. Read it and weep, Pixel Woman.
Oh no, you can't possibly. Oh. Well, I guess you're right.
You bet your palate, little 32 by 32 pixel mama. Looks like interesting reading. Look.
As much fun as it is to see you plant your face on the granite floor, we advise against it. General drawer failure, you get the...
Man, these filing cabinets. Man, these.
Now, what have we here? You haven't found the clue to this file's existence, yet somehow you know. Perhaps subtracting a few 100 points from your score will teach you.
Nyah, nyah, nyah.
Cheaters never prosper. It feels slightly gritty. You suppress an urge to dust it. Don't pick at it, you'll only make it worse. You summon the ability to... Don't touch that. We don't know.
Next. Yo, Bit Boy, do you like standing in line?
That file apparently doesn't... Don't pick at... The cyber printer accepts your cyber file gratefully and begins to print. The question is, what exactly is the output of a cyber printer? In this galaxy, those two items... Well, what do you know? Maybe there is something to this superhero reputation thing after all. And after that episode with the egg beater, I thought you'd never impress me again. You virtually eat the nearly real mint. Your virtual breath is now virtually minty fresh. It wouldn't be prudent to do...
Next.
This world's a great big ball of dirt with 50 billion. This world's a great big ball of dirt with 50 billion souls who like to sit around and veg down in the dark like moles. But me, I'm just the kind of girl who loves the open air and bits of unburned hydrocarbons blowing through my hair. New soil and clear, at last it's here with clearly better taste. Less people too, like me and you, and less reprocessed waste. More hearty crunch for snacks or lunch, it's crystal clear to see. New soil and clear, the last frontier for folks like you and me. New soil and clear, clearly less people.
Next.
It wouldn't be prudent to do that at this juncture. You smartly drop the board in place, spanning the gap between the two bridge sections.
Well, Dr. Bellows, I think you've got some explaining to do.
You're out of your mind, Wilco.
So, what do you have to say for yourself now, Doctor?
Confronted with the facts found in the files you located, he freaks and spills all.
My...
Eloquently stated.
I didn't think this all the way through until I'd crossed my own personal ethical line. I was already... It had already gone too far. The experiments alone... I thought I could do just this one thing and still live with myself. Love can move a person to do some strange things, Wilco. She knew how I felt and used it to her advantage.
I think I know what you mean about that love thing, but wait a minute. Slow down. Are you saying you have the hots for... I mean, you are actually romantically intrigued by Sharpay? Wow. You are serious. I agree that love can make you do some weird stuff. In this case, though, it made you do some stuff that was unethical and illegal, Doctor. Where is Stellar Santiago? I know she was alive, that her death was faked. What have you done with her?
Great Caesar's ghost. The woman, she's still alive, but I'm afraid not much time remains.
She is? What do you mean, not much time remains?
As you must realize by now, the Golden Light Years project was merely a front for the research I'd been conducting per Sharpay's wishes. She is intensely fearful of death. You probably didn't notice that she is getting up in age a bit.
Yeah, who could have guessed that?
In very simple terms, Janitor Wilco.
That's janitor second class, pal. And don't you forget it.
Excuse me, Janitor second class. As I was saying, Sharpay feared dying, enough to take the lives of others to save her own. She knew I loved her. I remember the day I met her. It was at the funeral of... I believe it was her fourth husband, and I remember never having seen her look so radiant. I fell for her, hard, and she knew it. You should have seen her in black.
I'll pass, thanks. Just tell me about Stellar.
Okay. The bottom line is that I have developed a way to extend Sharpay's life by transferring her mental essence into the body of another. It was to be you until your friend Stellar Santiago got in the way. We thought no one would miss you. Go figure. What I have done is to employ nanotechnology to take over the designated host body, as is happening with your friend as we speak.
Stellar's body is being taken over by Sharpay? Jeez, I don't understand. Is there anything we could do to stop it?
I've never really thought of it that way.
Well, think about it now. We have to save Stellar. You can't let her die. You can redeem yourself at least to some degree, Doc.
As much as it pains me to admit it, you're right, Roger. You're right. Okay, I think I may have a plan. We can save her. There are some interesting spin-off technological breakthroughs. I'm going to send you in to stop Sharpay.
Say what? No, I don't think...
It's her only chance. If you seriously care for your friend, you'll do this.
Oh, the only way, huh?
The only way.
Well, okay then. I hope you're sure about this.
I'm positive. Here's how we shall go about it. You will move your shuttle into Lab B. Meanwhile, I will generate new software for your shuttle's navigational system, which will help you locate the nanites, the very small robotic devices I developed for the intrusion. One of them is Sharpay. If you can stop Sharpay, well, your friend's chances of survival improve immensely. Then, once I have located and extracted you, I shall work to repair whatever damage may have been done to Stellar during the attempted incursion.
The shuttle is nicely miniaturized by the beam deal. Hopefully, it is reversible. Perhaps you should have asked about that. There are some things you can't afford to have smaller. That's delightful. The shuttle feels flimsy. You don't have to wear your helmet out there. That wouldn't. You acquire a candy.
I already have one.
These are the candies you retrieved from Stellar's stomach. What was that? Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. You acquire a candy.
I already have one.
Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. You acquire a candy. Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. Nice shot! An interesting idea. If I'm not mistaken, and I seldom am, that's the mucosa, or inner lining of the gallbladder. It helps make the bile even more vile by absorbing spare water content. You're the first one on your block to actually possess someone else's alveoli. You cleverly taped the capillaries together. It's the pump you retrieved from the shuttle trunk. Nice work! You've hooked up your makeshift hose to the pump. Nothing happened. You chuck one of the taped capillaries over the muscular ledge. It drops into the pool. You give the pump a stroke or two, and in the process gather a nice helmet load of bile. I guess congratulations are in order. The gallstone is wedged in the bile duct, and that's just a fine place for it. You don't need any more. You maneuver your helmet beneath the drip and manage to snag a nice little dollop of the stuff. Let's look at it together. You now own one of those tiny timed release pills. You now own one of those. You summon the ability. Since you've entered the tapeworm not partially digested, you'll probably give him heartburn. I hope you're proud of yourself. That's Impressive. The tapeworm suddenly becomes much more animated. Please remember to keep your arms and legs on the worm at all times. Yow! Now that's a ride you won't take in the Magic Kingdom. You snap off a shard of fingernail and gingerly introduce it into your pocket. You pull away a cracked piece of the filling. No sense in it. You carefully, very carefully, stow the paper clip in your pocket. You can't budge it. You can't budge it.
No, I think I've already done things above and beyond the call of duty. Hey, a guy has to draw the line somewhere, and gosh darn it, this guy's drawn the line right at the colon.
You've never even met her mother.
Yeah.
So you like the worm, huh? You like to ride the worm, huh? I let you ride the worm. Now, let's see. Although we could let you do a macho Tarzan swing... It's a chunk of silver tooth filling you found in Stellar's appendix.
This heat tile looks loose. Whoops! I have to stop doing that. This heat tile looks loose. Whoops! I have to stop doing that. This heat... Whoops! I have to stop doing that. This heat... Whoops! I have to stop doing that. This heat... Whoops! I have to stop doing that.
You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place. It's the subroutine program disk the doctor gave you to be able to navigate through Stellar's body.
Holy captain's log, Batman! There are a few more of those nanites here. How am I going to handle this one? Yikes.
You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place. You're not that thirsty. Boy, wouldn't it be cool if it probably... Excellent.
Man, that was close.
So close, and yet so far away. How embarrassing to get wasted by the Laurel and Hardy of nanites. Excellent get. It would appear that you slice away with the nail and, amazingly enough, manage to cut a slice in the barrier.
Yikes. Man, that was close. I don't think I can hit them from here.
You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it. You chuck another gallstone, this time at the other robot, who also thinks the other one did it. That was quite effective. That was very impressive, Roger. I'll bet that's not something you hear every decade. It's a recently constructed shaft between the This button takes you down.
So this is the motor control center. This sign says this is her pleasure center. Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's cough control center. Even in this suit, that hurts like a... Geez, what's going on here? And what's with that big robot?
Well, well, Mr. Wilco. I must confess to being impressed that you made it this far. You are either a very lucky man, or the classic case of how looks can be deceiving. From what I know of your history, I can't say that in this case looks are necessarily deceiving. On the other hand, I don't think luck accounts for it all either. There's definitely something different about you, Mr. Wilco. It's a pity, though. I'm afraid this is where the odds catch up with you, Roger. I do hope you don't mind me referring to you as Roger. I feel we can both be on a first-name basis now, since we will soon be sharing such intimate moments. My rebirth and your death. Not necessarily in that order. I'll attend to you in a moment. I have a few more little details to finish before I transfer my consciousness into this body. Enjoy it, Roger. It'll be among the very last of your memories. Oh, and by the way, escape attempts will prove to be futile. You will be incinerated if necessary.
Geez, what a bit...
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Me? I was saying, what a bite. Yeah, I had a little trouble with some parasites a while ago down in the digestive tract. That's all it was.
It looks like a bundle of nerves with electrical current through them. Wow, that was actually a great idea. Go figure.
Yeah, I kicked her butt. Just look at me. MacGyver wishes he could be me. It was bound to happen. The never-ending battle between good and evil was once again waged, and once again, good has emerged victorious. Yes, and with me on its side, how could it lose? Yes, once again, I have struck a blow for good over evil. It was Hey! Ah! What? But I thought I took care of you.
Well, it appears you thought wrong now, doesn't it, Roger? Wilco, I haven't survived this long without taking precautions. The robot was just hardware. My mind still exists.
Oh, real wonderful. Ooh! Ah! Hey, watch those tentacles, lady. I thought that being partially embedded in the street on polysorbate was a strange feeling.
Fish, that's brain food.
All right, she actually chowed down on that rancid fish. I thought I'd never get rid of that fish.
Nice shot!
Oh, there you are, Wilco.
Boy, Stellar, with all that's happened recently, I never would have imagined that we'd be standing here together.
It is a miracle, Roger. I was afraid that by the time you got my message, it would be too late. I was certain I was doomed. But you didn't let me down. What you did was incredibly brave, Roger, not to mention intensely risky. It took Dr. Bellows a lot of work to clean up after you and Sharpay. I must say, Roger, there's not a man in the universe who knows me inside the way you do.
It was a strange feeling, But I went in there all business. There wasn't a moment I wasn't thinking of your welfare.
Oh, give me a break. Let me put my boots on. It's getting deep in here.
Cheese it, pal, or I'll rip out your larynx and you won't be able to get a job doing bad voiceover work for Chinese action pictures.
What did you say, Roger?
Oh, I was just mumbling to myself. You know, Stellar, there's one thing I noticed while inside you I thought I might share.
And what's that, Roger?
You eat like a goat. You really have to change your eating habits, Stellar. I saw some things in your digestive tract I wouldn't wish on Sludge Vohall. You really have to clean up your consumption act.
Yes, I know. Dr. Bellows said he was able to fix most everything done to me during Sharpay's invasion, as well as patching an ulcer that was playing havoc with my stomach. He told me the same things.
You might also try chewing. You had a hunk of Twinkoid wedged in your throat that would have gagged Linda Lovelace.
Okay, Roger, okay, I got the message. Let's change the subject, shall we? Ask me where I'm stationed next.
Why don't you just tell me?
Boy, some fun you are.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little grumpy. I had a real day. I had to clean the captain's log entry container. Then somebody got a nice buzz in 8 rear and decided to take a wormhole ride in the Hollows suite. They hit a few wrong buttons, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning Virgon nebula sets and hors d'oeuvres off every wall and ceiling. Apparently, they truly did make the room spin. Boy, they spackled everything. Had to use the putty knife to chip loose some of the chunks of...
Roger, I'm sorry you had a rough day, but can we please change the subject?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I think you're gonna like your next assignment.
Really? What is it? Where is it?
Sorry, you're just gonna have to wait to find out.
As Roger and Stellar warp off into the nebula set, many questions remain. Will Roger and Stellar become an item? How will Beatrice Wankmeister react when she hears about this new friend in Roger's life? Will Roger's voice be a few octaves higher as a result? Would they dare to make another one of these things? Only time and money will tell.
I've been up to my lips in urinal pucks lately. I hope it's something different. Who wrote this crap? Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, well, yeah, then good work. Did you hear about the animator who killed himself? Yeah, he couldn't draw his own breath. These, by the way, are the credits. They're called credits because, well, we can't afford to really pay anybody until more people buy the game. All these people worked on this dumb game? Thank you, bye-bye. 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 That's it, bye-bye. No more, bye-bye. That's it, all finished, bye-bye. 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 Farewell. Bye-bye, bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, this is it, the last time. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you for playing Space Quest 6. This is Gary Owens, signing off.